Well, this is John Black, Super Chemist. I think this is part 8 of the biggest trick of gender theory. I forgot to mention, I was hoping I was done with this, but I forgot to mention another biomechanism. Like we said before, and it's not just a biomechanism, it's a survival biomechanism, okay, that prevents a woman from being in a relationship where she is not in her place and he is not in his place. So if they start working, they're not in their place. She can't handle it. And also, they can't handle work, that much stress, going through your whole life like that. They can't do it. I mean, some can, but half of them are turning into basket cases. But there's another trick, right? That this non-binary thing where they don't want you to look like you're one of them blue-haired persons with the metal on the face, tattoos all over. They don't look like that. They're just working moms, or they have this partnership when they have their marriage instead of a hierarchy. But anyways, here's another trick, right? Where they're saying that men and women are basically the same, okay? And what they're saying it in is about the sex, okay? Women are out here, they have like 500,000 partners, sex partners, and they're like 22. Like, how are you 22, 25? How is that even possible? Okay, first of all. And they're all proud of it. They're like proud of it. But see, the thing is there's let me bring up ducks, okay? Everybody's seen on a sitcom where the people on the sitcom, they find this duck egg, right? Or they buy it or whatever, and they take it home, and they got the heat lamp on it, and they put it on a pillow, and they look at it every day. And when it hatches, the little duckling, whoever it sees first, it will imprint on, right? We've all seen it, right? And the person standing there doing the egg, and he goes away, and then someone else comes in that doesn't even care about the duck, yeah, and it hatches, and then the duck imprints on that other person, you know what I mean? And they'll follow it around. You ever seen a little baby duck that just got hatched, man? They're like glued or whatever they imprint on, you know what I mean? And so that's called imprinting. That's a biomechanism. It's a survival biomechanism because the duckling wouldn't survive if it didn't stay near to the mom. You know what I mean? They get eaten up pretty quick, right? So there's other types of imprinting. It doesn't have to be we all have imprinting. Just like the duckling. When we're born, onto our mom, and onto the baby, and etc., etc. But you also have pair bonding, right? This is a biomechanism. It's a survival biomechanism where the man imprints on the woman and the woman imprints on the man. And this imprinting takes place when they have sex. Certain chemicals are released in your brain and whatnot. And the mechanism goes off, and you will imprint on that other person. For a man, because you think about it, caveman times, right? The caveman wants to have he's built to have sex with a lot of women, right? Impregnate 100 of them, you know what I mean? So he isn't as picky, he just spreads his seed to everybody, right? The woman, though, they're the opposite, right? They can only have one baby per like 10 months a year, once a year, you know what I mean, have a baby. So they have to be more picky, and I forget what I was even saying, man. But anyways, this biomechanism helps imprint on people. Oh, I know what it was. The dude doesn't, when he imprints on a woman, right, after sex, during sex, he can break up with her, and 6 months later, that biomechanism will repair itself. The reason why it does that is because he's built to have many different partners. The woman is not built that way. The woman is, because she can only have one baby or whatever, so she has to get a good man, and a good, you know what I mean? And she has to stay with him and print on him, right? So their biomechanism, this pair bonding survival biomechanism, uh, it degrades as it's used. You know what I mean? So just to give an example, right? Let's say a woman has 100% of her biomechanism, her pair bonding biomechanism intact, right? She's a virgin. First time she has sex, okay, if she breaks up with him, right, and moves on to a second guy, she's already lost 20% of her imprinting ability. You know, her ability to love you and imprint on you. 20% of that mechanism is gone. Okay? And by the time they get to 5 or 6 different guys that they slept with, their biomechanism that helps them imprint on you is 80% gone. It's shot. It will never grow back. Never. Okay? So at that point, you know, if you lost 80% of your mechanism, you might as well say you lost it all. At that point, that woman has no ability to imprint on any man. Ever. If she has sex with one more guy, then the thing's going to go down to like 90%, where it's all gone. You know, and each guy, it's going to go more and more and more. You know, she gets up to 20 guys or whatever it is. I don't know what the thing is on the top end. But once she gets up there, 10 or 20, 100% means she has zero pair bonding mechanism. Zero. Okay? And that's why you never get with a single mother, okay? From this next fact, right? Let's say you have a woman, right? She sleeps with one man and has one baby with her. Okay? Then she breaks up, right? And she comes along and you get her. 50%. Remember I said it, just one guy would take her down, you know, 20% down to 80%, where she'd only have 80% of her thing left, or mechanism left. Well, the baby, there's imprinting that goes along with that too, that degrades. You know what I mean? And when she has that baby, now she's lost 50% of her biomechanism, man. She can barely pair bond with anybody. You know what I mean? She can barely imprint onto anyone. And then if she goes out and she has a sex with just 2 guys, but one of them she had that baby. You know, where's she at? She's down. She lost 70% of her biomechanism, or somewhere around there. At that point, you might as well she can imprint. You might as well say she can't. You know what I mean? And if you have 2 different guys she slept with, and she had a baby with each of those, and didn't have sex with nobody else, you're come on, man. Your biomechanism, her biomechanism is like 90% gone, man. 85% gone. She does not have an ability to imprint on you. That's a fact. All right, and that's what this you know, it's the biggest trick, because now all of Gen Z, all the women have had sex with like 30 people at least. You know what I mean? They have zero biomechanisms to pair bond. Zero. It's hard enough for a woman that has a full pair bonding, you know, mechanism to stay, because they're not loyal, they're not faithful, they're very selfish, because that's how they were made. Millions of years they've been weak, well, we've been strong. That doesn't make a person, you know, gracious to give when you're weak and you can't get, you know, fend for yourself. You get stuff, you become selfish. You know what I mean? But yeah, this, I mean, that's why I say, when Gen Z is my age, about 60, we're going to see homeless women all over the place. Okay? Now, this is just my own theory. I don't have anything to back it up. Just looking at stuff, I believe it. I think that once the more your pair bonding mechanism is destroyed, the more you get crazy. And the reason why, okay, is because when you get to the next guy, right, that woman, she wants to have that feeling. You know what I mean? That feeling of that imprinting feeling. You know what I mean? That pair bonding feeling, and she won't get it. So each man that she sleeps with, she never, like, you know, when you have sex, even a man, when you have sex, you really bond, man. But she won't bond with the man, and that makes her like crazy because she doesn't understand why. You know what I mean? Why ain't I, you know, I really like this guy. He's great on paper, great in life, great everything. Why am I not, you know, bonding with him like I used to? Well, because you can't. You lost that mechanism. You lost that ability. And then that drives them crazy. Now this part, that part there, this is my own little theory. I can't, I'm not gonna back, I'm not gonna say I'm backed up with data or whatever, but I don't know, man. It seems like it. That's all I'm saying. It seems like it. See, this biomechanism, that's what I say. If you are with a woman, and she's had sex with like 3-4 guys already, she's done. You need to just, you know, men went to war and died to save this country or whatever. You know, now it's time for men to not die for the country, but give up women until they learn, until we, you know, get them to know what's going on here. That you live a privileged life. You know, that's why you should stop. Don't help any other women ever again. I mean, your family, yes. Anyone that's related to you that's female, yes. Help them, protect them. There are videos starting right now, trickling in, where they'll have a woman being mugged, being hit, being this, being that, and there's a guy or a bunch of guys just standing around looking. I mean, they don't even walk away or anything. They just stare at them while they're getting beat up or whatever, or getting mugged. And the reason why, because women they hate men. It's like you can't be a supremacist. I mean, you can't expect black people to help white people if they're white supremacists. You know? So you have no, these women have zero gratitude for the fact that every man from birth is told you protect and you know, protect that woman, even if it's a total stranger. If something's going on with her, you go over and help. And we all have that unspoken bond, but they don't respect that in any way, shape, or form. Okay. Let's see how much time. 13 minutes. Okay, so non-binary. Now, all that stuff is gonna, like, women have so much privilege where their boyfriends are just giving them stuff, free rent, free this, free that, free. That's going to stop. And it's starting right now, just like black people are starting to wake up. Yeah, men are starting to wake up too. And we know that the only way we can change this, because we're the leaders, we have to do it. We have to stop having sex with these freaks, you know what I mean? And stop being around, don't get a single mother. Don't date them, don't help them, don't do anything for them. Otherwise, they won't stop what they're doing. And only be with women, not these non-binary women that want to work, because they can't handle it. So anyways, I'm going to give you, like I said, my family's non-binary, but this, I didn't do my family, I did another family in like part 2, and I described how they all act. You know what I mean? How they can't handle anything. None of them have families. Yeah, they're always trying to manipulate what you say and twist it so that they're a victim. You know what I mean? So anyways, these people, this family, this non-binary family, doesn't know they're non-binary, right? They had like a couple cookouts or whatever. People came in from out of state, so I got to observe them. And in the next video, I will go into some things that I observed. Okay, and I want you to realize that all this stuff that I'm talking about in these videos right now, they've all happened to the black people too. First, they happened to the black people. Okay, then the women, the LGBT, and even the illegal aliens to some degree have been brainwashed with the same old thing. It's the same old trick. So when I come back, we'll talk about that.